Imagine an army marching toward you, not shouting, not screaming war cries, silent, boots striking earth in perfect unison, shields locked, helmets gleaming, eyes forward, no music, no drums, no threats, just silence. And behind them, the testudo, tortoise shell of shields, rolling like a living wall. You are a Gallic chieftain, warrior, shaman, king of forests. Your men tremble, not from arrows, not from blades, from stillness. This is not battle, it is theater, psychological siege. The Roman legion didn't come to fight you, they came to unmake you, to hollow out your courage, to dissolve your gods, to turn your rage into reverence. Rome didn't conquer with weapons first, it conquered with dread, with discipline, with silence so absolute, it screamed louder than any horn. This is the story of how fear became policy, how awe became armor, how Rome broke the world without swinging a sword. They didn't just kill rebels, they curated their deaths. After crushing Spartacus' slave revolt, Crassus crucified 6,000 men along the Appian Way. Every mile, a body, not hidden, not buried, displayed, a 120-mile gallery of agony. Travelers vomited, children wept, rebels surrendered without fighting. At Alesia, Caesar didn't just defeat Vercingetorix, he built two walls, one to keep Gauls out, one to keep Romans in, then forced Vercingetorix to surrender, kneeling in front of his own starving people, then paraded him in chains through Rome for years before strangling him in secret. Why? Not cruelty, curriculum, a lesson in futility, in hierarchy, in the cost of defiance. Rome didn't believe in punishment, it believed in pedagogy, teaching obedience through spectacle. And the classroom was the entire empire. Conquest wasn't enough. Rome needed converts, not to a god, to a system. We don't destroy your temples, they whispered. We upgrade them. We don't erase your gods, we adopt them, then demote them. We don't enslave you, we civilize you. Roads not for trade, for troop movement, baths not for hygiene, for surveillance, theaters not for art, for pacification. Bread in circuses wasn't generosity, it was anesthesia. They gave conquered peoples togas, then called them citizens, gave them Latin, then called it progress, gave them marble, then called it peace. The genius? The conquered began to thank them, to beg for more, to call rebellion barbarism. Rome didn't erase cultures, it rebranded them and sold the package as salvation. Walk into the Colosseum, feel the scale, the shadow, the silence between screams. Look up. 50,000 faces stare down. Not as audience, as jury. You are small, temporary, replaceable. Stand in the forum. Marble so white it blinds. Statues so tall they mock mortality. Every arch whispers, you are standing in eternity. Don't ruin it. Pass under a triumphal arch. Reliefs show emperors towering over bound kings. Not as history, as prophecy. This is order. This is power. This is forever. Rome didn't build monuments to celebrate victory. It built them to enforce perspective, to make the individual feel cosmically insignificant. And in that insignificance, obedience bloomed. The greatest weapon wasn't the gladius. It was architecture, carved not in stone, but in psyche. A Roman legionary didn't train to kill. He trained to obey. Hours of marching in lockstep, turning shield wall formations on silent command, building camps in minutes, in pitch dark. No questions, no hesitation, no individuality. Disciplina wasn't discipline. It was deprogramming, erasing the self, installing the state. New recruits were stripped of names, given numbers, forced to kill puppies, to sever empathy. Veterans spoke of the mask, the face they wore in battle, that never came off. Modern militaries still use Roman drills, not because they're effective, because they're efficient at turning humans into instruments. The legion didn't march to war. It marched into the void of self and called it honor. Rome didn't wait for rebellion. It taxed it into impossibility. Provinces paid tribute not in coin, but in sons. Auxiliaries, foreign troops forced to fight for Rome against their own kin, divide, conquer, confuse, spies everywhere, tavern keepers, prostitutes, school teachers. Whisper a rebel slogan? Your children disappeared. Census takers didn't count people. They assigned value. This village, worth 10,000 denarii, or fire. The message? We know your name, your debt, your weakness. Rebellion isn't suicide, it's accounting error. Rome didn't rule through love. It ruled through ledger books, written in blood. And the ink never dried. Rome didn't fall to barbarians. It fell to disbelief. When citizens stopped fearing the legions and started mocking them. When provinces stopped paying taxes because they knew Rome couldn't collect. When emperors became jokes, paraded by praetorians like puppets. The sack of Rome in 410 CE. Alaric's Visigoths didn't break gates. They walked through because guards shrugged. Why die for a ghost? Gibbon blamed Christianity. Truth? Rome forgot its own spell. Stopped maintaining the dread, the awe, the theater. Let the masks slip. Let the silence crack. Let the world see the man behind the curtain. And once seen, the magic died. Empires don't fall when armies invade. They fall when minds defect. They told you Rome fell. They lied. Walk into any corporate HQ. Glass towers designed to humble. Open floors forcing visibility. Town halls staged like triumphs. Scroll any social feed. Algorithms curating outrage. Not to inform, but to addict. To pacify. To sell submission as engagement. Watch any news cycle. Fear sold as fact. Spectacle as substance. Crisis as content. Rome didn't die. It digitized. It branded. It optimized. The Colosseum? Now a stadium or a Twitter thread. The census? Now a cookie or a credit score. The legion's silence? Now a notification. Ignored. The greatest trick Rome ever pulled? Convincing the world its tactics died with its stones. Look around. The ghosts aren't in the forum. They're in your feed, your office, your fears. Rome whispers still, not in Latin, in likes, in silence, in surrender. Tonight, when the algorithm nudges you toward rage, pause. When the boss demands discipline, question. When the system calls your dissent barbarism, smile. Rome's greatest weapon wasn't silence. It was the belief that silence was inevitable, that awe was owed, that surrender was sane. Break the spell. Speak when they expect silence. Sit when they demand march. Laugh when they sell dread. The legion still marches. But you hold the one thing Rome feared most, choice. So choose, not rebellion, remembrance, that you are not a soldier, not a subject, not a user. You are awake. And in that wakefulness, even empires tremble.